Continuing. Hold strategy meeting. Sounds good. Let's hold a meeting. The stakes are all the more real after experiencing the crumbling of another world firsthand. And with all the strange things happening in our world, I definitely need to discuss our situation and everything that's happened to everyone. After going over what we know, we can head to the Noah region. We witnessed the destruction of one world and learned that the crisis which befell threatens all the worlds. If something like that happened to our world, no, we absolutely can't let that happen. I concur. We need to prepare countermeasures. It will protect the world as created for that purpose. I certainly understand how you feel. Shall we take some time to review what we've learned so far? What would we like to discuss? Taurus. Taurus comprises rifts in space-time that appeared during the Great Disaster 30 years ago. We've established that the rifts are actually tunnels to parallel worlds. These parallel worlds are different than the world we know. They follow different courses of history and are at different points of time. Luca and I were already dead in one world, which was several decades into the future. There's a chance that world represents a future which may have been possible. Something happened in the past for it to diverge into one of many possibilities. In the Sabasa Taurus, we saw a scene of our destruction and learned firsthand what happens to that parallel world. Erosion of chaos and annihilation, and a path that all worlds will eventually cross. Ours being no exception. The crux from that world entrusted us with her notes. She requested that we deliver them to the crux of this world. That's one objective for us to pursue. We need to locate the Recruits living in our world. I plan to look into some of the details contained in her notes, but with my current level of knowledge, they're full of things I don't understand. What caused the paradox, though? Why are our worlds fading? We must travel to other Taurus rifts to discover the cause. We should learn something through more detailed investigations. There are 4 more rifts left, one of which is our next destination, the Noah region. The rift is north of Esta, where all the residents disappeared, right? There has to be some connection between the two. Investigating Taurus should be our highest priority objective. Do your best to serve me, everyone. Okay, sure. 4 more rifts. I wonder what kind of parallel worlds await us beyond them. We must investigate all of them to uncover the source of the paradox. If we don't understand what's going on, we won't be able to stop the destruction. What shall we discuss? Luca's father. Your father is Marcellus, the hero you originally set out on... Your father is Marcellus, the hero you originally set out on this adventure to find. Yeah, but I never expected any of the rest of this stuff to happen. I did finally meet up with my father at the edge of a world on the brink of collapse. Marcellus is traveling to other worlds, and he knows something about the mystery behind all this. He left us a note about following the correct course of history and that you needed to form contracts with the 4 spirits. You must have contracted the 4 spirits in the correct history. By tracing those footsteps, we can apparently stabilize the flow of time. It's a safe bet that disrupting the flow of time spreads chaos for her. In other words, following a correct history should distance us from destruction. Conversely, acting against the correct history will only hasten our demise. That's the hypothesis, anyway. I should do what my father said and form contracts with the remaining spirits, which will hopefully stave off the world's destruction. I've already got Sylph a note, and that is our next destination, the Noah region. However, following the correct history will merely postpone our eventual destruction. It should solve the underlying problem. It will pay to keep that in mind. Still, delaying the destruction is better than nothing. In the meantime, we can develop countermeasures. The more time we can buy, the longer we have to search for the root cause. Considering how much we still don't know, that's the best we can do for now. In any case, we need to go see Marcellus again. There are too many mysteries connected to him. Yeah, my father definitely knows more. I'm in contracts with the other two spirits and pursuing my father to learn his true intentions. Both of those are crucial to saving the world. Once again, I harm my resolve. War between the four major powers. The world is currently being rocked by a great war with Grangold. The world is currently being rocked by a great war in which Grangold is fighting against the other three major powers. The Magic Kingdom Grangold invaded the neighboring Granoa without warning. Granoa formed an alliance with Tsubasa and Sanilia to oppose the Grangold's aggression, and that is where we stand today. The next destination is the Noa region, which of course will involve going to Granoa. In other words, we're heading straight into the center of the conflict. It's obviously going to pose some problems. Earlier, I just watched conflicts between humans from high above, but this war feels highly suspicious. I normally wouldn't concern myself with wars between other countries, but I can't help but notice some oddities with this great war. First, there's Grangold's strange behavior. This is the first time a country has isolated themselves like this. And they went and invaded Granoa. Supposedly a gold army is made up of ant girls and magical constructs. On top of all that, there are rumors that the King of Grangold himself is not human. He uses powerful sorcery and survived a sword slicing right through him. That's definitely not normal. Even I have no idea what is happening there. This has all happened in the absence of my supervision. On the other side, there is Granoa, who has a Yoma rather than a human as a magical advisor to their queen. It's concerning to see a monster so deeply involved in the politics of a human country. As Monster Lord, I don't think that sets a good precedent. Let's not forget that Queen Sarah Tsubasa was being manipulated. Let's not forget that the Queen Sarah Tsubasa was being manipulated by the Little Sisters. Powerful monsters keep appearing behind the scenes in this war. I really doubt that that's a mere coincidence. The actions of the Little Sisters are especially concerning. They are disrupting the order of the world in a large way. We need to prepare for what is ahead of us. It is possible that we will need to become personally involved in this conflict. I don't want to get involved in a war, prepared or not. This great war between the four major powers is reverberating across the entire world. I wonder what's going on behind the scenes. Shall we discuss? The three Monster Lords. Three different Monster Lords vying for the throne. What a horrible state of affairs this is. Did this mess begin with the weakening of Alphys the 16th? It appears that she was banished from the Monster Lord's castle when she was transformed into her current weaker form. I was ousted from the position of Monster Lord, and now there are apparently three different Monster Lords vying over my throne. I imagine the 15th has something to do with that. She took over the Monster Lord's army and is the closest of the three to having a legitimate claim to the throne. She is the mother of the 16th, but from what I gather, she's been missing for a long time. Did she return lately to retake her former title? She disappeared a long time ago and was presumed dead. I have no idea why she has appeared now. I also can't figure out her reason for keeping me away or what she's thinking at all. That's rough. Why would any parent do that with no explanation whatsoever? Yeah, things are a bit different than the history you remember. Previous Monster Lord wasn't defeated by heroes, for instance. Correct. A certain hero killed the 15th Monster Lord in my memories. Moving on, next is Black Alice, the Monster Lord formerly defeated by Heinrich. Of all the Monster Lords in history, she was the strongest and most ill-natured. However, she has been keeping a low profile. Regardless, I can guarantee that she's up to no good. We must be on guard against her. There's no one alive more dangerous. She's a cruel monster lord from the legends of Heinrich, right? If worse comes to worse, we end up having to fight her. That'll be a perfect opportunity to prove ourselves. Hey, not all of us are huge Heinrich fans like you! Speaking of which, that reminds me, when you played a hero as a kid, you always made me play Black Alice. Well, naturally I played the role of Heinrich. I never actually beat you when you were playing Black Alice, though. I couldn't ever win. Not once. And whose fault was that? Do not interrupt me, you two! Back to the matter of the three monster lords. Next there's Alphys the 17th, who calls herself Nerys. She does not exist anywhere in the history I know. It seems that she's connected to that Nero guy. They kind of talk like they're siblings. Regardless, we have no idea who those siblings really are, or what their goals might be. They wield unbelievably strong power, though. In addition, they have aided us on our journey for some reason, although seemingly at random. At the very least, they don't appear to be our enemies. If they're allies, they sure seem to be keeping their distance, though. Anyway, those are the three active monster lords. At some point, we shall have to crush them. It won't happen anytime soon. But we better pay careful attention to all three. Three monster lords vying for a throne. We'll have to keep tabs on what they're up to. What shall we discuss? Succubi Sisters and Seraphim. We've encountered some odd groups on our journey so far who seem to be manipulating world events from behind the scenes. The Little Sisters are abominable succubi who made names for themselves during the Great Monster Wars. Those three have apparently returned and are now disturbing the world. They are direct subordinates of the monster ancestor Minagi. Many angels lost their lives to those sisters during the war. They manipulated the Queen of Tsubasa, destroyed Ludite Village, and more. They're sowing chaos over the world for reasons unknown. It seems they're backing my mother as well. Based on that, we have to consider them our enemies. On the other side, we got a couple of mysterious seraphs, namely Xeon and Gnosis, whom I do not recognize. Those two are the second generation Seraphim. There are three members of that group, so for two of them to show up on the surface... I'm not familiar with these new angels, but they are unmistakably hostile to the Little Sisters. That said, the enemy of our enemy is not necessarily our friend. I don't think those angels see too kindly to us either. They appear to be connected to the odd occurrences in the world. It also doesn't sit well with me that they know things that I do not. I wonder if they're trying to destroy our world. The Little Sisters said that their goal is salvation of the world, but we cannot trust anything they claim. The mysterious Seraphim may not be our enemies, but the Little Sisters are. They must be eliminated at all costs! Well, we certainly can't ignore them. Mysterious monsters and angels pulling strings behind the scenes. Well, almost definitely end up finding them again. Last but not least, the White Rabbit. Oh, and then our next steps. Alright, White Rabbit. The White Rabbit is the being that changed my appearance and the one we understand the least. She says her role is to guide Alice, but... White Rabbit is dangling a carrot in front of our faces in an attempt to guide us, or so she says. We learned about the existence of parallel worlds from chasing after her, so she is guiding us to some extent, right? We did learn about the crisis facing the world as a result. Was that her intention, though? She will certainly make more appearances in the future. If we ever catch her, I'm going to skin that rabbit. She does appear to be guiding Luca, not me, but why Luca? She will almost certainly make more appearances in the future. We must catch her and make her cough up everything she knows. White Rabbit appears to be guiding us. Just who or what exactly is she? Shall we discuss our next steps? Now, for what to do next, before we finish up, are you done reviewing the information? Done reviewing. The most important objective of this journey is, of course, saving the world. We must prevent the crisis which threatens to destroy it, and restore me as gods. We have a long list of things that we must do in order to accomplish these goals. First is investigating the remaining 4 Taurus rifts. There are rifts in the Noah region, Gold region, and the ruins of Remina, and a giant one at the center of the continent. First up is the one in the Noah region. Investigating Taurus. That should be the highest priority for us. Next is looking for Luca's father Marcellus. You will most likely find him in Taurus. Yeah, considering my father is traveling between the different worlds, looking for my father was the original reason I started this adventure. Finding him is just another reason we have to investigate Taurus. I hesitate to bring it up, but there's also a matter of forming contracts with the other 2 spirits. Undyne should be in the Noah region, and Salamander should be in the Gold region. We're going to the Noah region next, so that makes Undyne first on the list. Forming contracts with the spirits is supposedly following incorrect history, which should delay our impending annihilation. Finally, there's finding LaCroix in this world and giving her these notes. However, her whereabouts are unknown. I imagine she's busy with something completely different from the history I know. What makes you think that? Well, without the plan to recreate the world, never mind. I just know. Anyway, all we can do is gather more information as we travel so that we can find LaCroix and give her the notes. The hope entrusted to us from a dying world. We need to make sure LaCroix's work is not in vain. I think that is everything. Do you have a handle on what we should be doing? There are a lot of things. Well, they should come together in the end. Each item is simply a part of dealing with the crisis facing the world. Let's do it then. Our next destination is the northeast part of Centaura, the Noah region. The blockade of Port Marley should be over by now. We can get through there through the cave north of the Ludite village. If we can book passage on a ship there and sail to Grand Noah, but they will be on high alert due to the war. I foresee us having some difficulty. We won't know unless we go and find out. We can worry about that once we get there. You two say something smart every once in a while. Rather than worry, let us press onwards. Okay, meeting adjourned. Port Marley is on the other side of the cave north of the Ludite village. We need to get there and get a ship no matter what it takes.